Hello, and welcome to another episode of All Elite Arcade, your location, your podcast, your time of the week where AEW Games discusses video games. As always, Evil Uno and the Chugs here. And like every week, I think we come into this thinking we have not played that much. And then as we discussed before these podcasts, both of us have a ton to talk about. Chugs, I know you especially have a lot this week.
Yeah. This week, I definitely feel like I got a lot to talk about for sure. Like you said, normally week by week, it's like, I don't know if we have that much to speak about. I feel like I played and experienced a ton of stuff. But I do want to say, Uno, last week was episode 82, and that was one of my favorite episodes.
It was.
I think that we've done. That was such a blast. And this week, episode 83, the All Elite Arcade Podcast, we're going to keep it rolling. We love video games here on this channel. And man, I played so much stuff. Once again, I'm going to start with the regulars, that being Pokemon trading card game Pocket. I'm really close already to finishing the set.
A week in? It's only been out a week.
I know. I've been cooking, Uno. I've been cooking, opening these packs like a madman. And of course, kind of just starting the battles as well. I'm getting more into actually trying to battle other people. And then every time I start to get a little confident, I get my butt just absolutely whooped. But it's good. It's good practice. So again, Pokemon trading card game Pocket, just consuming my mornings every single day. Such a great mobile game. And of course, as well, I want to talk about the two games that I'm streaming. Number one, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Again, I'm not going to go into any story detail, but I did mention last time, I feel like I'm pretty close to the end. Oh boy, I am not close to the end. I felt like there was this really big story part that happened in this moment. And I thought, okay, I've got to be reaching, the end of this game. I think I still have half of the map to explore. And on top of that, there is so much side content. Like the past two streams, I spent my entire time in this completely optional area that was beautiful, by the way, had multiple optional bosses, had so much juicy lore. It's incredible. Again, Expedition 33 is one of those games that I don't want to end. I can't wait to see where everything goes. But man, I think I'm going to be talking about that game for a while. And again, too, as we get deeper into this game, the fights are definitely getting more and more difficult, but absolutely loving Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And speaking of games that I loved, of course, I've talked before about continuing my Hollow Knight Silksong playthrough on stream. But, Uno, I am proud to say I've officially finished my first playthrough of Hollow Knight Silksong on my own on my Steam Deck. Ended with 100% completion. As far as I know, at least from everything I've seen, I did like everything you could possibly do in one playthrough of Hollow Knight Silksong. I collected every optional item that you could possibly get. Obviously, I got 100% completion as well, but I went and fought the final boss in Hollow Knight Silksong, which I will not be spoiling whatsoever. But let me just say, without question, no hesitation, Silksong is a 10 out of 10 game for me. The storytelling was so awesome. Again, the combat, exploration. It's one of, if not the best Metroidvanias I've ever played. And I wanted to mention this too, because I have such a soft spot for Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is, again, one of, if not my favorite Metroidvanias of all time. It's the one that got me into the genre. And I remember thinking, like, nothing could ever possibly touch or compare to Hollow Knight. And I just want to say I really appreciate the way that Team Cherry went about this whole process of making a sequel. I think in many ways, Hollow Knight Silksong is literally the perfect sequel because it pays tribute, and it feels like you're playing a Hollow Knight game, but it's different enough where it's not being compared to Hollow Knight. Like, I feel like you could play each of them individually. If you play both, you get the ultimate best experience. But the combat is so different from Hollow Knight, which makes it like a completely new and exciting experience. But again, it still feels like a Team Cherry Metroidvania. So I think they did such a brilliant job going this route with creating this sequel, because they had so much to live up to. If it would have tried to be too much like Hollow Knight, I think you would have had a lot of people, especially with nostalgia, saying like, no, Hollow Knight's better. But I think it's different enough to where you can enjoy it as its own video game, which is so cool. So again, round of applause to Team Cherry for making yet again the best Metroidvania I've ever played. Hollow Knight Silksong was absolutely incredible. I'm sad that it's over, Uno. I'm sad that it's over.
I do have two questions now that you're at the very end, because now that we've both I at least I think got a little further than halfway through this game, and I will definitely be going back to it. But you scoured all of the things that you need to do in this game. Question one. Did you get all the achievements? Because you're on Steam right now, so there is an achievement list on top of your 100%. Did you get all of those?
I did not get all the achievements.
Really?
I have, I think 5 or 4 more achievements. And truth be told, as far as I know, I don't think it's possible to get all the achievements for Silksong in one playthrough. I think you need to do multiple playthroughs. For
because
example,
there's some either or situations, of course, right?
Yes. There's different endings and things like that. But also, you unlock Steel Soul mode after finishing the game one time. And Steel Soul mode is if you die at all in the game, that's it.
It's a
your save
hardcore
file is
mode?
deleted. Yeah. If you die, so the difficulty is the exact same.
Yes.
There's no difference in enemy. I think actually there is a very little bit of new content in the Steel Soul mode. But again, if you die, it's over. That's it. You have to start from the very beginning. And Uno, let me tell you, for me to do 100% completion and scour the entire game, it took me 84 hours and 48 minutes.
My God.
To finish Silksong at 100% on my first playthrough. But I've been saying this before. I do think I would like to be able to say I have 100% achievements or 100% of the trophies at some point. I don't have enough games like that in my log, so I want to start doing that. And Hollow Knight and Silksong, maybe 2 games that I work on doing that for.
Okay, and then here's question number 2. Because midway through, you start hitting some of the harder bosses of this game. You've now faced the final boss of it all. What does it rank difficulty-wise compared to like mid-boss for Silksong?
For me personally, I would say, God, it's probably top 3 or maybe top 5 as far as most difficult bosses that I've faced. Again, but what I love so much about this game is you've gotten so many tools at your disposal now. So there's so many different possibilities and options, and you're so used to the movement and maneuvering around with Hornet that it feels like it becomes more manageable. But no question, the final boss in Silksong is incredibly tough.
Okay.
It's worthy of being the final boss. I wouldn't say it was the most difficult boss for me, but it's definitely worthy of being the final boss. And that's the other cool thing about a game like this is, you may play this game and you're like, oh man, this was the toughest boss for me. And then that may be a little bit easier for me, but then also vice versa. I could be like, man, I was stuck on this boss for so long. And then you could be like, oh, it only took me like 5 tries. So that's what I like so much about games like this, like Souls games and obviously great Metroidvanias. But yeah, well-deserved final boss.
Okay. Well, those were my questions. Now I know.
Yes. So obviously, I've spent all of my free time completing Hollow Knight Silksong, getting that 100% completion. Not 100% achievements, but finishing the game in its entirety, at least in one run. So this gave me the opportunity to finally jump into some more titles, because I talk all the time about how huge my backlog is, just absolutely massive. And I just quickly, before I go into detail about the specific games, I do want to mention there recently has been a very, very cool, awesome update with the PlayStation Portal, the handheld PlayStation console, where now, in addition to being able to do remote play, which, by the way, it works very, very well, you can also do cloud streaming as well with hundreds of titles from PlayStation. And I wanted to test this out because, again, the Xbox Ally X has been great as far as remote play and cloud gaming. I got to test remote play, which again works flawlessly. Got to test cloud gaming with the Rogue Xbox Ally X with both Halo 5 Guardians and with Doom: The Dark Ages. Again, ran flawlessly. Worked so well. Such a cool feature. Well, PlayStation has jumped into it now. Once again, I've done remote play with the PS Portal, but finally got to try cloud streaming. And I did try the next game I'm going to talk about, which is Ghost of Yotei. Uno, it works flawlessly. It works absolutely flawlessly. So if you've ever wanted to play your PlayStation games on the road or while you're traveling, as long as you have a solid internet connection, again, the cloud streaming service works amazing. Your PS5 does not need to be turned on. All you need is a PS Plus subscription and a good internet provider or good internet service where you are, and it works amazing. So I just wanted to talk about that.
This is so exciting to me because this, when I travel, the biggest, because I have access, if I bring a laptop or I bring a Steam Deck or I bring my Switch, I have access to most of my library, but I don't have access access to my PlayStation stuff. And just recently, much like you're about to talk about this as well, but Yotei was my main obsession for the last month. And every time I would travel, I would have to be gone for 5-6 days, knowing that I'll have to relearn those skills, get back in the swing of things. And if I had purchased a portal, which I have tried the portal before, and before the cloud came out, it all depends on internet access.
Yep.
But now knowing that the cloud access also helps it, you wouldn't even have to have your PS5 running when sometimes I leave, I forget to keep it on. This is super exciting to me because that's the only library I don't seem to have access to while we're on the road. And very excited to eventually get a portal because this finally solves my little issues of like the stuff I exclusively play on Sony, not wanting to restart fresh, not wanting or you know, some titles like Yotei aren't available elsewhere. This will finally solve that issue. So very exciting to hear that the cloud is out there.
Yeah, so exciting. Because again, as handheld gaming continues to become more and more prevalent, it's so awesome that we have the choice now. Like literally Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC, you can now all play them in handheld mode, which is just so incredible. That's so incredible. Also, small little note too as well with the Steam Deck. They recently added a beta update. So it's not in the stable updates yet, but a beta update where you are finally able to download updates or download games with the screen off, which is just so huge.
Finally.
Before you had to yes, finally. Before you had to keep your Steam Deck on to be able to update or download games. So that should be coming soon to the stable channel. I know it's in beta updates now, and people are just thrilled about it. So that's amazing news with the Steam Deck as well. But in regards to actual games, Uno, I do have 3 new games that I want to talk about that I got the chance to play this past week. And first of all, we've hinted at it, but Ghost of Yotei. I have not put a tremendous amount of time into this game. I'd say between 4 and 5 hours. And man, obviously you've had so much more to say about the game because of how far you are, or far you got. But man, everything you said about Ghost of Yotei was 1,000% true.
Oh yes.
This by a mile is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. I most of the time played Ghost of Yotei on my PlayStation 5 Pro. And let me tell you, this game is just so beautiful. I'm really liking the way that the story is shaping up. But most importantly, and you said this, a couple of my friends said this, other people who have played it said the same thing. Everyone keeps talking about how awesome the open world is. And you just have to experience it for yourself, because this is the first time in a very long time I've had the chance to go into an open world and I have completely ignored the main missions and the main quest. Uno, I'm in chapter 1. I haven't done one single main mission.
You don't need to.
You don't need to.
Not at all.
It's so awesome to go around and search and explore, and every little corner there's something there, whether it's like an enemy camp or an upgrade or this big climbing section where you get to the top and then you get like a special item. The game is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I do love the new feature as well, where you can use those that binocular item and you can mark stuff on your map. So then it shows up. That's so nice. I spent 10 minutes on the top of a mountain just trying to mark as many things as I possibly could. Yeah, God, it's so good. I can't wait to continue it. Also, again, the only real intense combat thing that I've done is I did my first duel, my one-on-one duel.
Hardest part of the games.
Dude, those are so hard.
Yes.
So hard. But I love it. I love the parrying system. I love how you have to have really quick reflexes with these fights. Like the first duel I did, I think I died like 8 times until I finally got it. But they are so cool. And when you're flowing and it's going well, it feels awesome. So the combat feels amazing. Long story short, I can't wait to dive more into this game. I can't wait to explore more of this open world. I could live there. I could live in Ghost of Yotei. It's so cool. So should have a lot more to say, especially once I continue the main mission. I'm too busy roaming around in the open world, but incredible game so far.
And that's a great game to play also with your PS5 Pro, because that extra HDR, the extra like frame rate on performance mode and stuff. I'm very jealous. I'll be honest. Oh, because on a base PS5, it's gorgeous. I could only imagine on the Pro as well.
Yeah, Uno, there's this mode specifically for the PlayStation 5 Pro called Ray Tracing Pro. Oh. So it has ray tracing 4K and a smooth 60 frames per second.
Insane.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, easily one of the prettiest games I've played. So definitely going to have a lot more to say about Ghost of Yotei. That is a scenario where, of course, it's so nice to be able to play it on my PS Portal. But if I'm home, I want to play it on my PS5 Pro just because the game looks so beautiful. But again, runs great on the Portal as well. Another game I had been talking about and have wanted to play for quite some time is the new Pokemon game, Pokémon Legends Z-A, which recently came out. I got the Switch 2 version. Once again, put, I'd say, like 3 or 4 hours into the game. And Uno, I was a little unsure of how I was going to feel about Pokemon Legends Z-A just because of the new battle system. I love turn-based combat. When I think of Pokemon, I think of turn-based combat. So I was really curious to see how this was going to be. Dude, the new combat system is awesome. It is so much fun. Again, it's all like live reaction style. Like, for example, this is maybe not the best example, but for anyone who's played Final Fantasy VII Remake, how you're like making decisions as your character is moving, that's kind of what it's like in Pokemon Legends Z-A, where you're battling against other Pokemon. The action is fast, it's fun, it's addictive, really, really cool. And throughout this area, this is very early spoilers for this game, but throughout the town that you're in, there are wild zones that you can go to where you can sneak up on Pokemon, and if they're not paying attention to you, you have a better chance of catching them if you're hiding in tall grass. Also, you can take your Pokemon and battle them and daze them for like 5 seconds, and then you have a chance to throw the Pokeball and catch them, and that's your best bet. But then obviously their health is very, very low. There's a day and night system where some Pokemon show up during the day, some only show up at night, obviously rarity and things like that. So really fun. And then there are these battle zones at night where random trainers will just show up, or you'll encounter random trainers and fight them for experience points to eventually build your rank up. You start at Z, and then obviously I'm guessing you want to get the whole way to A. But man, very, very fun. So excited to play this more. Also, for anyone curious, it runs buttery smooth on Switch 2. I know the last Pokemon game, Pokemon Scarlet, people weren't crazy about the frame rate and things like that with that game on Switch 1. I don't know how it runs on Switch 1, but on Switch 2, it's the smoothest Pokemon game I've played in a really, really long time. So it feels 60.
Okay.
It absolutely, and I was playing in handheld mode the whole time. I didn't play it docked once. So absolutely 60 frames per second. Works great, looks great. So yeah, definitely digging the new Pokemon battle system. Really enjoying the new Pokemon game. Can't wait to catch more of them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with my Pokemon trading card game Pocket collection.
Impossible.
But I'm going to try. And last but not least, the final game that I got to try, and I've been wanting to play this since it came out. I got to play a little bit of the Outer Worlds 2 on PC. Me and you are huge fans of Obsidian. We love them dearly. What an amazing development team. I really enjoyed the first Outer Worlds, and all I had heard is that if you liked Outer Worlds 1, Outer Worlds 2 is a bigger and better version of that, and that could not be more true. Again, I've only played about 3 hours of Outer Worlds 2. Runs great, looks great. Again, a absolutely beautiful game, but classic Obsidian. The writing is so good. It's hilarious. The story is very interesting. Like, right off the gate, immediately, you're like, "Ooh, man, where's this going to go?" The gunplay and combat feels really, really good. As far as I know, and this makes me really happy, I think you can just pick up as much stuff as you want, so you don't have to worry about being over encumbered.
Yeah, I don't think there's an inventory limit at all.
Yes, which makes me so happy, because that's always an issue for me in open world games where you just want to collect everything. But man, right off the bat, this game has me so intrigued. It feels so great to play. The story is great. Again, the writing is awesome. There's so many different interesting mechanics with elements and weapons and different enemy types and things like that. It's really, really good so far. I'm definitely going to put more time into Outer Worlds 2. In my opinion, it's maybe, and I know I'm still so early in the game, so maybe I'm saying this a little bit too soon, but it's shaping up to be, I think, my favorite Obsidian game I played in a really long time. Like, Outer Worlds 2 is incredible, and I love Obsidian. So, yeah, Outer Worlds 2 has been an absolute blast. Really, really enjoying it. Uno, I think you would love it as well. I don't know if you played Outer Worlds 1.
I did,
yeah,
yes.
Oh, awesome. Then I think you would love Outer Worlds 2. I think you really would. But that's been what I've gotten the chance to play. It's been a lot, like I said. But yeah, Yeah.
So
Uno, what about you?
To bounce on the Outer World stuff, I did end up I did
please.
put an hour into this game, so I can at least attest to, like, it's very pretty.
Yes.
It is by far their prettiest looking game as of yet. I don't know if the new engine was put in on Avowed. Unavowed is a point and click. Or if it is recent to this game, but it just feels dramatically better looking, smoother. The facial animation stuff is way better as well. That first hour, they show a ton of it because you're in your ship for a short period of time, and a lot of it is like close quarter, discussions between characters, and that seems very nice, especially because, while not Bethesda, a lot of people think of Outer Wilds and Obsidian as Bethesda light as far as engine-wise. This seems to, that jank that you got from conversations and how those faces were all kind of like lower resolution and kind of like not as exciting and immersive and high-end as the rest of the world. That doesn't seem to be the case from what I've seen from Outer Worlds 2. Even the characters are very, very defined. It's very nice.
And I did want to mention too as well, but again, I was playing this on PC. I was playing it at 1440p with HDR on, unlimited frame rate limit, and then everything on ultra high. I didn't have one hiccup.
Wow.
The game just looked and ran awesome. The cutscenes look beautiful too. But yeah, I'm really excited, really excited about Outer Worlds 2. What a game!
Yeah, so I'm hoping to play some more by next week. My plan originally for this week was to play Outer Worlds because originally I was not going to be traveling a whole lot, only traveling 2 of the days. I ended up getting called in early, and so I've been on the road for the last 5 days. But that does not mean I do not get to play video games, because I did get to play 3 video games. One repeat from last week, but last week I talked about Vampire Survivors. We got a recent Balatro update. The DLC dropped completely for free. If you haven't gone back to Vampire Survivors recently, it's available on everything. It's cheap if you've never played it. It's extremely addictive. The new mode that they've dropped in is very fascinating. First, the Balatro update has, I believe, 2 new maps, 4 new characters, 4 new weapons, and their obvious evolutions as well, and a passive supporting item as well. But what it also does is it unlocks a party mode, so now you can do local co-op up to 4 players. And what's even more neat about it is when you go to co-op, it splits your weaponry into shorter slots, so you have to kind of pick and choose who gets what. But your passives, while they affect you, the evolutions will help on each side, so you can kind of like coordinate that together. But what's very neat too is that this party mode, you can also decide to not play with a person and play with a computer in several different modes. So you can play the co-op mode without actually having a friend. And so you can have an extra character be your supporting character. And especially in this kind of game where it is more movement based and it auto shoots everything, it almost feels like the same experience, with the exception of, like, obviously a co-op you get to discuss over the headset or on the couch. So I've really enjoyed it. It's a great little update, and considering it's free, I don't know how they keep doing this, but it must correlate to more sales, because they keep dropping these free updates.
Has to.
And I'm very, very excited for the future of Vampire Survivors, because we have some little Vampire Survivor news later on, little tease. But I do not think we're going to be done with this model anytime soon.
Yeah.
Now, video games I played otherwise. Last week I teased it, but last week I played a little bit of Fortnite on the Halloween mode in preparation for this. This week, Fortnite's new map, it's a month long. It will end at the end of November. So if you're hearing this and this interests you, get in there now. It's completely free, but it's a Simpsons mode. So we have a battle pass with Simpsons characters. You can unlock Homer. You can unlock the Devil Homer. You can unlock Ned Flanders, Marge in a witch costume, Ned Flanders in his sexy ski outfit. If you understand what that reference is, this season's for you. It's absolutely for you. And the thing that's very neat is they turned the entire map into Springfield. So you have multiple locations from Springfield. You can go to the Simpson house. You can go to the school. You can go to Cletus's farm. There's a ton of other stuff. You can go to Camp Krusty. It has direct references to several episodes. There's gags across the entire map. There are gags you can interact with. So, for example, not to spoil some of the stuff in Fortnite, but if you see a rake, you can walk on the rake. The rake will hit you in the face. You'll get XP from that because that's a gag. There are phones laid out everywhere that Bart calls to crank call Mo. There's an unreal amount. If you're a Simpsons fan, this is the most fan service I think I've ever had on a Simpsons game. And it's kind of crazy seeing it happen in a Fortnite game that we have not had more Simpsons games recently, because they turned the entire map into The Simpsons, but they also turned everything into the cel-shaded look of The Simpsons 2. And this feels like the best Simpsons game that's ever been created. Obviously, Fortnite is so fun; it's addictive, but the making it a cartoon, having the locations, they could be doing this forever. Like next year, they could be doing Family Guy. The year after, they could turn it into Batman. Really, they could do anything. And it's fascinating that it's a decade-long game now, and people are still actively playing it, one of its highest points right now. And I am having more fun now, I think, than the last 4 years that I've played, and I've severely enjoyed this game. The Simpsons mode is a blast.
Dude, Fortnite, all I want to say, Fortnite is so incredible.
Yes.
Like, I know that everyone knows that, but again, I think a huge reason, aside from the game being super, super fun to play, I mean, you've got to agree too, part of the reason it's so successful is all these updates they constantly just pour their heart and soul into. It's not like a tiny little update. Like you said, I had no idea they made the entire map like a Simpsons map. Like, they changed the graphics a little bit too with the cel shading. Like, that's so incredible. It's so incredible what Fortnite's doing.
They've done if you know Fortnite a little bit, the way you're started is you are in a flying bus, you jump off into the world. The second you start the game, after you go through the lobby wait, it goes into the Simpson entrance, which is like the clouds with the Simpson logo, and you are behind it, so you're flying through the clouds, and you're in Otto's bus. Otto is driving it, and then you leap into this world. It's fascinating that this game exists to begin with. I've talked about this before, but the fact that Fortnite, not only can I be the Simpsons characters, I could be the King of the Hills characters, I could be Family Guy characters. It's the only game, from as far as I know, that I could be Spider-Man and you could be Batman, and we could face each other. It breaks all brand laws. It breaks all laws of what video games are in general. And while it's not the most popular choice to say this, it might be one of the greatest games ever created. One on time alone, the fact that a game 10 years old is still going, user base alone, it's in the zeitgeist of culture in general. I think it's and this might be, and the wildest part of this is that they just came off of a Halloween mode that was only a 6-week period, I believe, or maybe 2 months long. This month is only 1 month. This Simpson game is only for 1 month. They created this entire environment for about 1 month of revenue, of gameplay, of whatever way you want to look at it. And then in December, there's another 1 month because they usually jump into their Christmas mode. It might be an amalgamation of Simpsons and Christmas. We don't know. They haven't teased it yet. But this game, if you're in it for 1 year, you'll see this game transform at least 4 times through it. And it's wild to think not only the skins, but just the type of variety of game you can play through this. I was enamored with Fortnite before, but like my love for The Simpsons brought me back again, and I cannot wait to get back home so I can play more of it, because I need to get that sexy Flanders skin, and I need the last Homer skin as well. So I'm going to be talking about it next week again, I'm sure, because they'll be dropping more stuff every week. They drop new items, they drop new, the map expands with different locations or different events and stuff. So every week there's new stuff. If you haven't jumped back in, or if you've never played Fortnite, this is a great time to try it, especially if you're a Simpsons fan. But even if you're not, the cartoon nature of it is so inviting. It feels almost like a different game, but it has the same mechanics at its base. It is incredible. Go out of your way. Go play The Simpsons. All right. I thought my whole week was going to be The Simpsons, but then I ended up traveling. I have one more game I want to talk about, and actually I'm very, very excited to talk about this game because it came out of nowhere for me. This week I was traveling. I only brought my laptop with me. I actually did bring my Switch with me, but forgot the wire, and it was not charged, so I was screwed. But I brought my laptop with me, and on my laptop, I downloaded this game that came out earlier this year called Look Outside. And,
Yes.
And Look Outside is a horror RPG at its base. Just recently, I think less than a month ago, they came out with a new update to the game called 2.0, where they added a bunch of new interactions, new characters, new late game content, new endings. I have not played through this entire game, so I cannot tell you the difference between 1 and 2. But I was very excited to jump into it this week because I had nothing else to do, and I thought, I'll play a few hours of this, and that'll be my fill. I'll play a little bit of time on my laptop. Yes.
Uno, I'm so sorry. I just have one question.
Please.
By chance, with this new update, did they add controller support?
So I don't know. I did not bring a controller, unfortunately. So I've been playing this straight up on my laptop. I would not be I would not be surprised if they did add it, because it does feel like a game that, while I am playing it with just going left, right, up, down, and E as my or I do the WSAD with E as my interact. I do feel like I would much rather enjoy myself playing this on a controller. But I want to talk about this game because I thought I would put in an hour or two. Now, I'm playing it on the harder mode, the survival mode. I just decided it's a horror game. I should play this the way a horror game is intended. Low ammo, low health, only your saves aren't frequent. It is an incredible experience. I played 17 hours of this game now.
Oh!
In 2.5 days. I locked myself into my hotel all of Thursday to play this. This is how addicted I got to this game.
You didn't look outside.
Not even once.
Look outside.
Not even once. Not very unhealthy of me, but not even a little bit. In fact, I ignored all text messages on Thursday. I was not a good friend. So Look Outside is a horror RPG. What it is essentially is you are a person who wakes up in their apartment, and outside of your window, the curtains are closed, a weather/space event is happening. So essentially you don't know what it is, but if you look at it, you are either transformed into a grotesque monster or something. You become insane or you die. And so as you wake up, you hear about this through the internet or on your radio. Your neighbor, there's a hole in your wall. They speak through you, so that's kind of your first point of contact with people. And they're telling you, hey, this is supposed to last 15 days. Just don't look outside. Stay indoors. You have to survive. And you're in an apartment complex, several floors. It's 4 floors, then a basement, or 3 floors, a basement, and some extra content in there as well. And what I think is so fascinating about this game, it is a horror RPG, but there is a lot of making choices in it. Not only in where do you go, what weaponry you use, but because your apartment is your safe space, you'll get knocks at the door. The knock at the door could be an enemy. The knock at the door could be a new partner to add to your party. It could be a new passive item. It could be new stuff like this. But you don't know. And a lot of times what happens in this game is that everyone looks grotesque and disgusting. And so you assume everything is a bad guy. But much like, and it's not a huge spoiler, but a slight spoiler to this game, much like Undertale, you don't know what's good and you don't know what's wrong and what's right in this game, because it's a horror game, you assume kill every single thing humanly possible. But midway through, you start realizing, you start having these conundrums as your character. You talk to yourself in the mirror that maybe you could have gone and done things differently with certain situations. So as you go through this apartment, obviously you're scavenging for ammo, for weaponry. There's weapon degradation, so you have to constantly get new weapons. You're leveling up with experience, but you're also interacting with your neighbors. So your neighbors could be humanoids, or they could be starting to become these Lovecraftian beings. And it is up to you to decide if they are beyond repair or not. And so as you're interacting with people, every room you go to has a new story beat. It has a new character. It has a new little riddle for you to solve. So you're either solve it the usual RPG way and you can murder everything, or you could just make and choose and decide, okay, well, maybe this being is still humanoid at its core. Maybe there's a way to help it. Maybe it isn't a bad guy, and that evolves over time. Over the 15 days, I have 5 days left of the 15 right now. So it's going to be about, I would say it's probably going to be 25 hours tops lengthwise. And I know for sure this is a type of game that if I replay it, I can play this completely different and have a different experience for sure. I want to rave more about this, but it's hard to talk about without going into direct details. But there is so much versatility with what you're doing in this game, be it the story, be it the weaponry, and it has truly horrifying scenery in this game. It'll have super lighthearted, funny moments, instantly followed by some of the most grotesque things I've ever seen in a video game. It's a lot more art-based. It's not jump scares. You'll never have a jump scare in this game. It's a lot more, you start with an enemy that looks like one thing, and maybe by turn 3, it's the most disgusting thing you've ever seen. So it has a lot of like body horror. If you're prone to feeling ill on that stuff, this game has a lot of it. So fair warning. This is maybe on the highest end of grotesque stuff I've ever seen in a video game. It's 2D in nature, so it's not like you're seeing these fully sculpted 3D, but in 2D alone, the art style is incredible. And last thing I want to talk about it has an incredible soundtrack. Every apartment has a different song. It has like these tonal changes to music when something bad happens, or to indicate a larger event happening. Every day is a little bit randomized. So, for example, you go out and you scavenge the way you think you want to scavenge, but who knocks at your door is not set in stone. It's randomized. So what knocks at your door could be a brand new character, and that brand new character leads to new story points, that leads to, a secondary character to fight battles. It branches out in different paths. And I know for sure that when I finish this, I'm going to feel so stupid about the way I played that I will play it again. And that's an incredible feeling, much like Undertale, when you get to a certain point when you realize, like, oh no, I have to play this another 25 hours to truly appreciate this game. And it's fascinating because this is just like a small indie game that came out earlier this year, and this is sneaking up to be one of the strongest games of this year for me. I'm so fascinated with it, and the fact that not that many people are talking or are playing it is wild to me. Go play Look Outside. It's on Steam right now.
Uno, you've sold me, because I heard about this game probably a couple months ago whenever it came out, and I've seen a little bit of footage of people playing it, and immediately the few clips that I've seen, I'm like, oh my God, this looks right up my alley. This looks like an incredible RPG with a wild art style, like you said, just such a cool concept. And all these things you're talking about is just further proving that I need to jump into this game and play it at some point. It sounds awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it so much.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I highly, highly recommend it to people out there. If you like horror games or you like RPGs, I will say, you have to be older than 13 to play this game. There's some real grotesque stuff. If you're a child out there, do not try and go Look Outside for several reasons. But not the game for everyone. But for me, this game is hitting all the points, everything I want out of this game and more. Very, very happy. It's been a great week of gaming for me. That's for sure.
Yes, it sure has. It sure has.
And I hope for everyone out there, it's been a great game or a great week of game for you guys as well. Let us know what you've been playing. YouTube.com/AWGames. Get in that comment sections. Let us know what's been out. I know there's a ton of new games we haven't touched. Arc Raiders is getting these great reviews. Kingdom Come 2 just got an update. There's a ton of cool stuff. Let us know what you're playing in the YouTube comments. YouTube.com/AWGames. That's not it for our podcast. I know we're so deep. We're like 35 plus minutes deep, but that does not mean there isn't more to talk about, because there's a bunch of news, and it's come to you right after this.
And welcome back to episode 83 of the All Elite Arcade podcast. Before we jump into the news, we, of course, have a new segment that we've been doing. This is called the Producer Quiz, where me and Evil Uno have to try our best to test our video game history and answer these amazing questions that our producers have come up with. Uno, are you ready to rock and roll?
I am ready to rock and roll, yes.
All right. Well, question 1 of the producer quiz. Also, we will get the results, the answers at the very, very end of this podcast. Me and Uno have no idea what the answers are. So if you want to see what the answers are, definitely stay towards the end to see what we got. But question 1. Question 1 is, what was the other Nintendo 64 game that came out on launch day with Super Mario 64 in North America? Is it A, Star Wars Shadow of the Empire, B, Wave Race 64, C, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, or D, Pilot Wings 64? Uno, I think I know this one.
I think I know this one too. And if I don't know this is going to be the question that makes me the most mad, because I remember the launch of the N64. It's a pivotal moment in my life. And if it's not Wave Race 64, then I'm screwed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is not what I was going to say. I'm going to say
no.
That's not. I'm going to say D, Pilot Wings 64. That is my guess. That is my guess.
Okay, now I feel real stupid because I feel like I remember. Okay, all right, we got different answers. We'll see.
Now you're questioning me. Now I feel stupid. First, but I'm going with okay. Answer. Uno says B, Wave Race 64. My answer is D, Pilot Wings 64.
All right.
Already getting heated. Already getting intense here in this producer quiz. Question 2. Which of these open world games has the biggest map measured in square miles? Is it A, Grand Theft Auto 5, B, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, C, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, or D, Ghost of Tsushima? I think, again, this is a guess for me, but I feel like I remember hearing that B, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, was the biggest open world map, but that's a complete guess.
So that's what I was leaning for as well. But then I think about how Grand Theft Auto has to be traveled in a car.
I know.
And then I'm like, does that make it larger because it's that way or not? I'm going to go with you as well. I think it is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That I vaguely remember hearing that, and then also I know that map is unreal big. So
yes, and honestly, all these maps that are listed are absolutely massive and huge maps. But yeah, my gut is telling me, I feel like Uno, just like you, I feel like I heard it before that B, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is the answer. I still have not played Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Neither have I.
Still want to play it. And question 3, where do you get the bike from in Pokemon Red and Blue? Is it A, Cerulean City, B, Vermilion City, C, Saffron City, or D, Viridian City? I'm so upset that I don't know this by heart because I love Pokemon Red and Blue. I put so much time into it, but this again is going to be a guess for me. Again, complete guess. I should know this. I'm so mad at myself. I'm gonna go B, Vermilion City.
So I feel like today is the day I might lose my gamer cred because I've played this game over 20 plus times to completion, and I can't tell you the answer to this. And it pains me because I should know this game as well. Same with question number 1. I feel like I know, and if I don't know, then this will crush all cred that I've built up over the last 20 years. I'm going to say Saffron City, I think, is where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, man. Oh, God. Okay. That, again, complete guess for me. Not feeling confident at all.
Same here.
But we'll see. So question 1, Uno with Wave Race 64, me with Pilot Wing 64. Question 2, we both said Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And question 3, I said Vermilion City. Uno, you said Saffron City. So once again, huge thank you to our producers for this awesome producer quiz. Stay tuned to the very end of this episode for us to reveal the answers and see how we did. Because what is the score now? Is it 6 points for me, 4 points for you?
I think we might have upped it by adding a double point, so it might be 7 and 5. But I think you are 2 above me at this very moment.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's 6 and 4, but maybe one of those. But by two.
We're getting there. That's not it. We will get your answers for the end of at the very end of this episode. Do stick around, find out whom of us won this trivia round this week of the producer quiz, but also play along with us. Let us know what you thought, and let us know if you got it right as well. Now, let's talk the news of the week, because there's been a handful of pieces of news, starting with the biggest one of all, even though it came out as a tweet, but GTA 6. We've been waiting for years. Meant to come out May 26th. 2026. Well, guess what? As is customary for all GTA games, it's been delayed. It's been delayed further. Rockstar came out and tweeted about this, saying that they're very sorry that they will be adding additional time to what they realize has already been a long wait. And instead of coming out in May, the game is now coming out in late 2026. November 19, 2026 is when it will come out. Now, not a whole lot of other news other than that. It's the return to modern day Vice City. We already knew about this. We already got, I believe, 2 little trailers, a teaser trailer and a shortly longer trailer for this game as well. I'm going to say this, and we can revisit this next year. I don't think that's the last delay.
Really?
I think there's one more. I think there'll be one more. Because
you think it's going to be 2027?
Yeah, because I think 4 was like this as well, where they delayed it 3 times. I'm not saying that's what they do. I just have a feeling this is the largest game of all time, as far as a financial, the money put into this game there's never been put into any other property, I think, ever.
Nope. Yeah.
I feel like for them to do it properly, they're still going to push it back, and I think we might have to wait till early 2027. Which also, maybe at that point, maybe new consoles.
Right. Oh, that'd be wild.
Because we're pushing it at this point. We're towards the tail end of, I think, the Xbox and the PS5.
Right. I'm guessing 2027 is when we're going to start hearing about the 10th gen hardware from Xbox and from PlayStation. But honestly, again, I can't wait to play Grand Theft Auto 6 like everybody else. Like you said, Uno, more money has been put into making this game than any game ever. But let me tell you, I think Rockstar obviously has proven with its track record how amazing and incredible their games are with the Grand Theft Auto series, with Red Dead Redemption. I actually, again, as excited as I am to get my hands on this, I'm not super bothered by the
not
delay.
Even a little bit.
Just because of how many games we continue to get month after month. 2026 is shaping up to be absolutely incredible too. But don't get me wrong, I can't wait for Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out. Again, if Rockstar wants to take more time to make the biggest game ever and the most incredible open world experience of all time, which a lot of people are expecting, then more power to them. I will patiently wait like the rest of the world for GTA 6. But a bummer for those who are very excited for it early or mid 2026.
So much like you, I'm not even bothered by this. Take all the time you want in the world. There's so many great games. There's no drought on good video games. If anything, I need the time. And also, I made this point earlier, but I feel like this will sunset this current generation. I feel like we're gonna get this version. The next consoles will come out, and then 3 years after that, we're gonna get that consoles version of this, much like GTA 5, because we're probably going to be playing this game for a decade plus. If GTA 5 is any indication, they've got to knock this out of the park, because this game's going to last for at least a decade as well.
Yep.
So exciting news. It's still coming. That's the most important part to me. It's coming. It's happening. More news this time about Fortnite. I talked about this, but the Fortnite Simpsons just came out, and it's up. The current update has led to the largest surge of players in over a year since the holiday 2024 season. To give you a little bit of inside knowledge on Fortnite, a lot of people come to the holiday month for Fortnite because for the entire month they drop free gifts. You don't have to purchase anything. You just have to come in every single day. And so a lot of people every holiday season come back to play Fortnite so that they can get the free stuff. You don't have to do a single purchase. So since the holiday 2024, this has been the largest propel of this game, the largest user base in quite some time. And that was in the first 48 hours, which of course makes a ton of sense. That's when the most people will come out. They did not announce a specific player figure, but data shows that it eclipsed over 2.7 million concurrent players over the weekend that it came out. But it's nowhere near the all-time record, which this is an insane number. The all-time concurrent record at Fortnite is 14.3 million people playing it simultaneously in late November of 2024.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, right? And that was just last year. That's just last year. So this holiday season might bring it right back as well. I often think to myself, like, how long can Fortnite really go? And then this is just an indication. I think they can go on forever.
Yeah,
They could really go on forever.
I mean, there's no question that Fortnite certainly is in the conversation for most influential video games of all time.
Oh, yes.
Seriously. The run it's been on, how many people are playing it, all these incredible updates. That's so cool. That's so cool.
And then also, a part of this news piece is, too, this always happens with Fortnite, but data miners go crazy on Fortnite to try and figure out what the future seasons are. And they've already seen indications, and I don't know if this is full maps or if it's just characters, but it looks like the next large collaborations will be SpongeBob SquarePants, which, now that we've seen a full cartoon world, I think it could be done easily. And Harry Potter seemed to be the next two. And Harry Potter leads itself to so much movement. Not surprising as well. They've already done broomsticks. They've already done secret spells before. Not surprising if that becomes its own mode. But very exciting for Fortnite. Epic continues to hit a home run. That game never ends.
Yeah.
Next up, we're coming back to the Switch 2 because this is pretty fascinating. Nintendo Switch 2, its phenomenal launch. Not only we talked about how good it was doing, well, it now cleared over 10 million units sold, which is more than the PS4 and the PS5. That's wild. That it is already going forward like this. And then on top of this, Switch 1 is set, if it continues forward, which it will because it is still selling, because a ton of people that can't get Switch 2 are still getting Switch 1s right now. It is on the way to become the best-selling console ever. Especially Nintendo's. Absolutely Nintendo's. But crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, it's so cool, again, because I know some people were unsure of how the Switch 2 was actually going to do. Mm-hmm. You know, with the jump from the Wii to the Wii U, obviously the Wii U didn't do that well, but the Switch was so successful that of course the Switch 2 did well. I remember we talked about this before the Switch 2 had come out. We're like, it's going to crush, but I don't know if anyone expected it to do this well so fast, which is so awesome, because the Switch 2 is an incredible piece of hardware. But yeah, Switch 2 shaping up to surpass the Nintendo DS. Nintendo DS currently Nintendo's best-selling console. And my God, if the Switch 1, the Switch 1 set to surpass Nintendo DS, but if the Switch 1 surpasses the PlayStation 2 as the greatest selling video game console of all time,
still selling.
That would be wild. It's still selling. I think it's about 6 million units away from passing that milestone, which would be wild. I for the longest time thought nothing's ever going to beat the PS2, but we just might get a winner in the original Nintendo Switch. But good for Switch 2.
Absolutely.
So glad it's selling so well.
And just so we're clear as well, this is on a data set that covers the first 2 quarters of sales. So this is considered the largest launches. So 10.36 million consoles, and the 2 first quarters are still not done in the Switch 2's history. I think there is still all the way through December, if I remember correctly. Giving you an idea. Season. So 10.3 right now. We still have the holiday season to go through. The PS5 sold 7.8 million in that time, so already trumped that. PlayStation 4, 7.5, just shortly underneath. And the Switch, which is about to become their best-selling console, only sold 4.7 million in the first 2 months. So if this is any indication, I think Switch 2 may very well be Nintendo's biggest property console-wise, which is so exciting. That's so exciting because I feel like we barely scratched the surface of what that console can do. We know that Kirby Air Riders is coming and Metroid Prime is coming. We just had a new trailer, the Survive trailer. I have not watched it yet, but that game comes out next month. I feel like we're still in its infancy. This could be a blockbuster of a console.
Oh yeah. Switch 2's life cycle just started. We haven't had any heavy hitters from Mario or Zelda or any we're shaping up to have one heck of a console generation for Nintendo. Switch 2 is let's go.
And now I have a quick few little bits of news I want to talk about. First off, the video game Dispatch. Dispatch is a narrative-focused game, very similar to a Telltale game that came out just recently. It features Aaron Paul, the actor from Breaking Bad. and it's only been out for 2 weeks. It's already sold over 1 million copies, which is very good for a type of game like this, especially when it didn't come with the big brands. It's not attached to, a Wolf Among Us or a Walking Dead or a Game of Thrones. This is its own little thing, but it is a episodic video game based on superheroes and the hotline format of the hotline person that dispatches them around. That is why it's called Dispatch. Congrats to them. That's a great amount of video games sold. 1 million in under 2 weeks. And also, truthfully, I hear great things about it. I will eventually have to get it as well. If you're playing it, let us know what you think about it in our comments.
Yeah.
Also, I teased this a little earlier. I said that Vampire Survivors was not done. Well, not just Vampire Survivors itself, which I'm sure will get a bunch of new DLC, but the people behind Vampire Survivors have just officially licensed a Warhammer game called Warhammer Survivors that will come out next year. So think Vampire Survivors, but with the lore and characters of Warhammer. Here's the beauty of this. I've never really got into the lore of Warhammer, and this might be the first thing that gets me to pick up on it because I love this type of game, and it doesn't matter. It could be about Hello Kitty, and I will play it. So I will play this Vampire Survivors game. It comes out next year, 2026.
Yeah, what a great idea.
And then finally, this one is back on a subject we tackled, if not last week, the week before, but Nintendo versus Pal World. We talked about their lawsuits. We talked about the patents. In a not historic, but a very rare situation, the U.S. is re-examining previous Pokemon patents that should affect the current lawsuit between Nintendo and Pal World. All based on, if you remember this, last week or the week before, we talked about in Japan how Nintendo actually lost the patent. The request for a patent for, I believe, it was either
like
the ball
using a Pokeball.
Yes,
I think it was capturing or releasing characters out of a ball.
Yes, exactly. So it was summoning a sub character to battle an enemy. So taking him from your ball and having a sub character do your battles. They lost that patent, and they actually, in the U.S., had been granted that patent, but in Japan have been told no. So now it looks like the U.S. will be re-evaluating that previous patent. They in the order said that they determined that substantial new questions of patentability have arisen with Nintendo's granted patent, which will really change the landscape of, one, what games are capable of doing, but two, how much weight they actually have against Pal World. Now this would be the second hit to their lawsuit towards Pal World. And this is an ever-evolving case. It seems like this we'll still be talking about this a year from now, like we were talking about it last year as well.
Yeah, probably. It's just, I'm just so surprised that they're reevaluating it. I feel like that's such a rare circumstance and scenario to be put in this situation. Of course, the other patents not going through, I'm sure in some capacity affected the decision from the U.S. to kind of reevaluate the patent as well. But yeah, certainly, like you said, we're going to be paying attention to this and seeing what goes down probably for quite some time. Yeah,
I guess we are not done talking about Nintendo and Pal World. We'll definitely be updating you on this as we hear more about it. And that's the news for the week. There's obviously been other things. If you think we missed anything, make sure you let us know in our YouTube comments. But that is not it for our podcast, because our very favorite part of the show, that's right, the audience questions. That's right, the mailbag is coming to you right after this. And we're back. It is finally time to make our favorite part of the show, and that is the All Elite Arcade mailbag, brought to you by our friends at Upper Deck. As always, Upper Deck has provided us with cards for us to unpack right here on the podcast. This time, as always, as recently, we're opening the most recent AEW packs. That is the metal format cards, our personal favorites of the ones we've unpacked. Chugs, what do we have today?
I got a good pack today. Got a really good metal pack today. I love the look of these cards. Here we go.
We've got Satnam Singh.
Yeah.
We got Mason Madden. That's a great photo right there.
That is a great photo.
Chris Statlander with laser eyes.
Statlander with laser eyes.
Oh, that's the best card I've ever seen. Mercedes Monet in red. Christian Cage with his trademark turtleneck. And Isaiah Cassidy.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Look at this.
If you do not see it, go to our YouTube format, youtube.com/AWGames to see the cards. They are absolutely beautiful. And as always, thank you to Upper Deck. That's not the only thing you get for Upper Deck, because the new AW memorabilia launch from Upper Deck, authenticated, features a lineup of standout autographed pieces like Adam Copeland's Rated R Superstar print, Kenny Omega's Flying High Gold, Chris Jericho's Fozzy Lionheart in London, and for the first time, collect Hangman Page signed Cowboy Snapback, the Young Bucks inscribed Reeboks pump with Super Kick and party inscriptions, MJF's plaid cashmere scarf, and so much more. Each piece brings personality, style, and a touch of wrestling history to your collection. As always, visit upperdeckstore.com or click the link in the show notes to grab yours today. Thank you to Upper Deck as always. We have questions today, Chugs. Let us know what our audience are asking this week.
We do. We have two great questions this week, and I'm going to start off with Roz. Roz, thank you for the question. Hi, Chugs and Uno. I love the podcast and listen every week. Thank you. I'm quite a novice gamer and have really enjoyed learning so much about different genres of games. Before my question, I wanted to mention about a cool thing to visit when AEW comes to Manchester, England in December. Chugs. Oh, yeah. Chugs, you will be sorely missed. Thank you, Roz. Europe's largest arcade is situated just outside of Manchester in a town called Bury. It's great, and you should totally go if you get the chance. It's full of retro arcade games, pinball, and Japanese games. That sounds amazing.
That sounds awesome.
My question in this, which video game worlds would you most and least want to live in? I'm playing Expedition 33 at the moment. Amazing. I was thinking about how much it would suck to live in that world, experiencing the loss of all your loved ones based on age, which inspired this question. Thank you both for all the work you put into this podcast. Roz, thank you very much for the question. Also, I agree. It would be terrible to live in a world like Expedition 33. It creates an incredible story to experience. But yeah, if that existed, my goodness. Yeah, this is such a great question. There are so many beautiful worlds. Earlier, I was talking about Ghost of Yotei being absolutely beautiful. So many incredible worlds you can live in and explore within video games. One that always comes to mind of a place I would love to actually experience would be The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. There are just so many incredible areas in that game. Skellige, absolutely beautiful. Toussaint, just some of the most pretty visuals and areas in open world gaming I've ever seen. So the place I'd want to live is, or want to check out at some point is The Witcher 3. And in a place I would never want to go, and I think it's because this is fresh in my mind from recently playing a little bit of this and loving the horror franchise, just getting removed from Halloween. But Silent Hill. The last place in the world I would ever want to be is in the town of Silent Hill. Just seems absolutely horrifying in so many different ways. So yeah, my go-to, The Witcher 3, the place I never want to be in, love playing the games, but never want to be in, is Silent Hill.
On my side, the first ones that came up to mind that if I wanted to live in a world, for whatever reason, now I understand that there would be some perils, and definitely the state of the world is not at its best, but my first thought was, man, I would love to be in Horizon Zero Dawn, surrounded by robot dinosaurs, beautiful fauna, so colorful. To me, that's a world I would love to live in, based solely, I think, on the aesthetics and the way everything looks. But the one that really baffles me the most on this one is first, I will give you the other side of the coin on my next answer, but I would also love to be in Cyberpunk, because the idea of in the near future, major metropolitans, that seems fascinating to have a scope of what the near future would be like. I think that seems unreal. That seems very fascinating. That seems very cool. Now, if I were going to turn that to the other side, Dead Space is a world I never, ever want to live in. One, I'm kind of terrified of the concept of space. I think the idea of ever traveling in space is something I would, even if tomorrow they're like, it's safe, I'm not going up there. It's not happening. I think I've been engineered over the years of movies and brands and video games to be terrified of space, and especially in the idea of Dead Space, where you're in lonely ships surrounded by grotesque monsters, and you have these like visions and constant, talking in the back of your ear. And then on top of that, if you play Dead Space 2, you got to use those machines that put the needle in your eye. Not a chance. Never, ever will you see me in Dead Space world. That is by far, I think, and Silent Hill a great choice too, but never put me out there.
Uno, I love those answers. And you saying about being afraid of space made me think of another thing. Like the space and the ocean are so scary. Yes. So another one I'd never want to be, Subnautica.
Oh,
there are some beautiful areas, but my God, no thank you.
Yes.
No thank you.
No.
Roz, great question. Great question. Thank you. And last but not least, we have a question from Brittany. Brittany says, hi, Uno and Chugs. After playing Red Dead Redemption 2, amazing game, for the first time this summer, I decided to get back into gaming, particularly open world RPG games. I played Baldur's Gate 3, but found it too expansive and challenging. Do you have any recommendations? I have a PS5. Brittany, I sure do.
We
both have some recommendations for you. First and foremost, Red Dead Redemption 2, incredible game. And it's good to know that you have a PlayStation 5. So I mentioned this in the previous question, but my goodness, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Yes. And
there's been a next-gen update to where it runs smoother, it looks better. That game made me truly fall in love with open world gaming. The Witcher 3 is a story you will never forget. The side quests are absolutely incredible. The world is amazing to explore. So I'd absolutely recommend that one. And the other two I would recommend is Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei. I mean, they are both. I loved Ghost of Tsushima. It's just, again, a beautiful world to explore. But same can be said as I'm experiencing Ghost of Yotei at the same time as well. Just two awesome, expansive open worlds where in some capacity there are some RPG elements. So yeah, I'm going to go with Witcher 3 or Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei.
I think you're absolutely correct on these choices. These are by far the three I would suggest first. But if I were to add anything to it, and this is only to be in a completely different area, but we're playing off this RPG, I think Fallout 4, while not the best of the Fallouts, now that it has the update, now that it's been put to the next gen, I think that's an incredible game to jump into if you enjoy those. It's very simplistic, very straightforward. I think you will absolutely love it if you want it. And if you want to get even weirder into the third-person genre RPGs, I don't know if it's necessarily an RPG per se, but I think The Last of Us remastered game is a game you should be playing on PS5. If you like Red Dead and the way that it was spread out story-based wise, I think Last of Us remastered is a game you absolutely should play on PS5. And if you enjoy that one, then great. Guess what? There's a sequel. Go play Last of Us 2. PS5 has a large library of incredible games. You can't really go wrong with a lot of these. Some great video games on there.
And I agree. You should at least experience The Last of Us one time. Just one of the best stories in gaming by a mile. So, Brittany, thank you very much for the question. Roz, thank you again for the question. Thank you, everyone, for sending in the questions. Really, really appreciate it. But before we wrap up today, we do have to get the answers for this producer quiz.
Right,
so I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to scroll down.
I'm not looking, so you have to reveal these to me. So.
Okay. So, question one. What was the other Nintendo 64 game that came out on launch day with Super Mario 64 in North America? The correct answer was Pilot Wings 64.
No, I swear I remember Wave Race. Okay, all right. Explain.
And it's Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wings 64 both dropped on September 29th, 1996. Wave Race 64 released on November 1st, 1996.
That's a whole month.
And Star Wars Shadow of the Empire released on December 3rd, 1996. Now, Uno, I want to say, again, only reason I know this is because of the video games textbook second edition. As I'm reading through everything and I saw it was there. Sometimes my brain can retain information like that. So yes, I'll take it.
I'm gonna lead here and say that I've never played Pilot Wings 64.
Me either.
ever, and I can't
it's
believe
available.
I didn't know this. Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah, it's on Nintendo Switch Online as well, so you can play it there. But
Well,
yeah,
I may have
there it
to
is.
now.
There it is. Question 2. Which of these open world games has the biggest map measured in square miles? Uno, we were right.
Yes.
It was indeed Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Ubisoft hasn't given any official sizes, but YouTuber Demetrius Galatis used a software measuring tool called ImageJ, along with in-game distance measurements and maps to calculate the size of Odyssey's map, which turned out to be a colossal 256.38 square kilometers. Oh my God. That's
large.
Huge. Okay, so we both got one there. And last but not least, where do you get the bike from in Pokemon Red and Blue? The correct answer is Cerulean City.
Oh my God! Neither of us.
Neither of us. We both got that one wrong. Cerulean City. You get the bike pass from the Pokemon fan club. Wait. In Vermilion City. Oh, wait, you get the bike pass from the Pokemon fan club in Vermilion City. Oh, so you get the pass.
You get the pass
in Vermilion City,
then
which is what I
guessed.
guessed. That's what I guessed, dude. Oh, you get the pass in Vermilion City, but you actually get it in Cerulean City. So we both, oh, crap. I was close.
You're very close. But this week, you are the winner of the producer's quiz. That makes it, you are now 3 above me, I believe. Let's say 8 to 5. That works.
Let's say 8 to 5.
Let's say 8 to 5. Yeah, you've got 3 above me. Another week where Chugs moves forward. Let us know how you did on our YouTube section, youtube.com/AEW Games. By far, I really enjoyed this addition to the podcast.
So fun.
It makes it very exciting for me to get to the very end. I am so mad about Wave Race above everything else. It pains me. It pained me to hear that answer.
Yeah, the final question today really crushed me with getting the pass for the bike, but also the one last week, the SOCOM one.
Yes.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that was a topic of discussion in a
dude.
lot of my texts afterwards. I will tell you that. Hey, if you like our podcast, make sure you hit that subscription button or that follow button. We're available every single Monday in the wee hours of the morning in whatever podcast network or podcast device or podcast app that you use. We are there. Also, our video format drops at noon Eastern Standard Time every single Monday, youtube.com/AW Games. And if you subscribe to that, you also get access to our Bronami code. That is MXM's video game playing show that drops every single Thursday. Watch them, watch us. Plus, you can also find us all on Twitch, twitch.tv/AW Games for all of AW Games' streams. That is at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Monday. I'm twitch.tv/eviluno, and Chugs is at twitch.tv/thechugs. Chugs, if you're playing Silksong now, you're still playing Expedition 33. Are we adding anything else, or is this all you've got for now?
We currently are not adding anything else. I'm still going to go strong through Expedition 33 and still going strong through my Silksong playthrough. So if you're interested in either of those, Expedition 33 or Silksong, twitch.tv/thechugs is what we're going to be playing.
He's practically a Silksong expert now, so you might as well go check it out. Get the strats, get the information on that game. Do check us out on Twitch. As always, thank you so much for listening. The Mondays are by far one of my favorite days because of this. I do enjoy recording this, and I'm so very thankful to all of you for listening. We will come back with another episode on next Monday, and as always, thank you, and bye-bye.